Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a crock pot whole chicken. And as you can see, I've got a whole chicken here. We're going to be putting our onions just like this, but you can pull them apart as long as it makes a bed. And we're going to put that in the bottom of the crock pot. And that's what I'm going to do now. My husband doesn't eat these, so I kind of leave them in big chunks so that he doesn't get a hold of any of them. But this is a very good way to add flavor. My new year has started out so good. I hope everybody had a happy new year. Okay. Now, my bird's over here having a fit. I'm not paying any attention to her. Okay. The spice recipe, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but I'm gonna help you figure out about how much to put on it. So I am gonna be using measuring spoons to do this. Let me just get my measuring spoons out. And I'm going to need a small bowl. And don't be afraid to add all of this, like the black pepper and stuff like that. And if you don't care for pepper and like cayenne pepper and things like that, you don't have to use it. You can use pretty much anything you want to, as long as you've got onion powder, garlic powder. You can add just about anything else that you want to, that you may like. You may like garlic herb or lemon garlic. You can use that. But this is, I was going to roast this, but I kind of don't want to have to do that because it's really a waste of power. And I would rather put it in my crock pot and just be done with it. And you are not going to add any wet ingredients to this. And I know that sounds crazy, but it comes out tasting like a rotisserie chicken. So let's get started. My black pepper. Let me just get something to open this up with. I don't need to be getting cut. Okay, sorry about that. I've got there's a half a teaspoon of black pepper. That makes a whole teaspoon of black pepper. And then I'm putting chipotle chili pepper in there. And it's going to be a teaspoon of that. Onion powder. Now with the onion powder, I'm going to be using a tablespoon. And depending on what size bird that you have, you may need more. But I'm going to go with 2 tablespoons on this one. I know that looks like a lot. I know it sounds like a lot. But because this has no wet ingredients to it, and you want it to taste like it's been rotisseried, then, you know, you kind of have to add a little bit more spices to it. Now, I have some garlic pepper here, and it's just garlic and black pepper mixed together. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of that. And then a teaspoon of salt. And like I said, I know that kind of sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And there may be something that you like to substitute, like salt substitutes, and you can do that if you would prefer. Now, what we're going to do, we're just going to kind of mix the dry ingredients together. Just make sure they're all combined. Okay. And now that we have all of these ingredients in the bowl and they're combined together, we're going to set them to the side. Just 1 second. Let me get this out of this sink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this chicken off with like just a really, really, not cold, but just cool water. And I know a lot of you people are looking at me like I'm thinking I'm crazy, but I'm really not. I don't like thinking about the stuff that comes inside the package on the chicken, but I don't want to taste any of that either, or have the thoughts of tasting that. Okay, now don't forget the little packet that is inside the bird. We want to discard all of that. We're going to wash him up really, really good. Get all that nasty ooey gooey stuff off of him. I'm just going to pat him dry. Just like you would a baby. Okay. There we go. Now let me get some oil. I use just regular cooking oil, but you can use olive oil. You can also just, you can use butter if you want to. I don't particularly like to use butter too much, but I do occasionally. And I'm just going to like drizzle it on him and make sure he gets well coated all along the legs, the wings, everywhere. Because you know, as the chicken cooks, it's going to produce its own moisture. Wash my hands up before I stick it in the... Okay. All right. All right, to make it easier, I'm just going to bring my Crockpot pan over. Now, make sure there's nothing else up in there. Now, I'm just going to take my rub and just rub him all over. And yes, this is messy. So, and then I take the pockets and I rub some up in there. I know this probably looks horrible sometimes, but you have to make sure that you get it coated all over. And if you have to go back and make a little bit more, you can. There's no wrong or right way to do it. And don't forget to put some up and under the skin. Sometimes you have to get in there. I've always wanted a rotisserie, but I don't really have too much room to put one. And so I decided to start looking into recipes and seeing which one I like the best. And this one right here, it's not real spicy, so I decided to go with it. My husband used to love a lot of spices, but now he's got to where he can't eat them as much or eat as many of them. Okay. And we're just going to finish him off. Okay. And then with his legs up, we're just going to plop him right here on top of the onions in the Crockpot bowl. clean my little mess up here before it gets too bad. Now I'm going to put this, you can do it on high for 4 to 5 hours or 4 to 6 hours, but I put it on low for about 6 to 8 since, you know, it's right at the middle of the day and my husband likes to eat around 7 o'clock, and because a lot of times he doesn't get off of work, until around 4:30, and he just wants to come home and relax. So I still have time to continue cooking this after he gets home. But if you want to do it on high, like I said, just once you see it start falling off the bone, you just you can turn it on hold for, you know, hold to warm, and it'll stay warm, and it's still really delicious, just like you would get at the grocery store, one of their rotisserie chickens. And like I said, you don't add anything else to this. You add nothing else to this. No other. Sorry, I can't. My camera's not wanting to cooperate with me. You add nothing else to this except for what I just told you right there. And then let it cook. And voila, my dinner is started. Now, like the sides that I use to go with this, I'll either do mashed potatoes and gravy and a side of slaw. Tonight I'm going to be making, I will be making, like I said, my mashed potatoes. And I won't be doing the gravy. And then I'm going to have the coleslaw, and then I'm going to make a no yeast dinner roll. And I love baking bread too, but I don't like using the yeast. Like this yeast right here is a really good kind of yeast, and it's rapid rise. But whenever I tried the other kind, it was like the store-bought kind. It didn't do good. So my bread did not rise enough for it to be light and fluffy. And so I'm going to try this no yeast recipe, and I'll invite you back here in a little bit to show you the steps that I go through to do this this bread, and how much of it I use. I may not end up doing a video, but I may just end up putting the recipe online. Thank you for being with me while I fixed my Crockpot whole chicken. And like I said, it tastes like it's rotisserie, and if you love rotisserie chicken, you'll love this recipe. Thank you, and y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.